What is going on, everybody? Today, we're going to be going over all the shiny hunting methods within Sword and Shield. So let's get into it. And remember, if this helps you out, go ahead, like, subscribe, so you don't miss any content. So let's jump into it. Before we jump into shiny hunting methods, let's cover some basics. First, you're going to need the shiny charm. This valuable item increases your chances of encountering a shiny Pokemon. To get it, you must complete the Pokédex by catching every Pokemon within the region. So completing your Pokédex and catching them all, essentially. And then this is significantly going to cut all of your chances down to like a quarter. It drastically changes the numbers. So make sure you do get that as well. If you are trying to go for an open world shiny, I would recommend using a false swiper and then a Pokemon having the ability Synchronize, because Synchronize is going to make sure that that Pokemon has the same nature as yours. So if you are going for a specific nature of a Pokemon. But with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the Masuda method, which is breeding. Now, one of the most popular shiny hunting methods is the Masuda method. This technique involves breeding Pokemon from different language games, as in English, Spanish, or Japanese. By breeding a Pokemon from a different language game with your own Pokemon, you increase the chances of hatching a shiny Pokemon. The best way to do this is by using a foreign ditto. So, i.e., if you are in an English game, I would recommend using a Japanese ditto and then pairing it with a Pokemon of your own. You can go ahead and get a ditto through trades or surprise trades. Then you just, go ahead and pair it up with your own Pokemon and start breeding like crazy. Because the rates with no shiny charm are 1 in 4,096. That is a very high number. So that is why I highly recommend getting the shiny charm. Now, if you are using a shiny charm and a foreign ditto, a Japanese ditto, if you are in an English game, that drops your rates all the way to 1 in 682, which is way better and pretty much guarantees you a shiny no matter what, which is way better, obviously, than anything else. With some luck, you'll soon hatch a shiny Pokemon, no problem with those rates. So let's go ahead and jump on to number 2, which is going to be your brilliant Pokemon and pretty much your chaining knockout method. Now let's talk about the chaining method. This technique is all about encountering the same Pokemon over and over again without breaking the chain or knocking out something else. Within this game, it is kind of a little bit different because you can break the chain because your knockouts are consecutive, but I highly recommend keeping it in a chain. Here's how it works. So find an area where a high encounter rate of that Pokemon you're targeting. So in an area where that Pokemon is spawning a lot, and then start encountering and catching that Pokemon without encountering any other species or running away. So you would go ahead, knock it out or catch it, and that'll count as a capture or a register in the Pokédex. The more you chain, the higher the chances of encountering a shiny Pokemon. Keep in mind that while you do this, brilliant Pokemon of that type will spawn. You will need to knock out or catch them to increase your chances of a shiny. When you knock out 100, your brilliant Pokemon spawn maxes at about a 3%. So brilliant Pokemon will be able to spawn a lot more. And at 500 brilliant Pokemon knocked out, you will have a 6 times multiplier to the shiny chance of that brilliant Pokemon. That brilliant Pokemon is going to be the shiny. You will have a higher shiny rate within that brilliant Pokemon. It is a longer hunt method though, but you will also be able to try and get a mark on your shiny, unlike breeding. Breeding, you will not be able to get a mark. You would have to go do some other activities to go ahead and give that shiny a mark. This way, you could actually just catch one in the wild with a mark, and it can have a lot rarer mark where you would not be able to get it on later. And with this method, it does carry over to fishing. You can do this with fishing. It is a little bit different, but you have to not break it and not let the Pokemon run away. So you actually have to catch the Pokemon in a row consistently. It makes that hole that you are fishing at become a registered, i.e. brilliant spot. So it will make it a little bit different. You will actually be catching different Pokemon in general when you do that, but you will actually turn that fishing hole into a brilliant fishing hole with the glow and aura around it, just like you would see in the open world with other Pokemon that you would be doing the knockout method for. You can get a shiny that way. It is a lot harder because you can't isolate the Pokemon you are trying to knock out. Now, for some tips to reiterate, you are going to want to get that shiny charm, and you would want to get a foreign Ditto if you are going for that Masuda method. Now, if you are doing this in the wild, you would also want the shiny charm as well because it is going to affect there as well. So it does cut everything down to half. Make sure you knock out those brilliant Pokemon, the ones with the glowing aura that give you the watts whenever you knock them out. They're going to be the best ones to go ahead and give you what you need and have the chance for the shiny Pokemon. Secondly, remember that patience is key when shiny hunting. Shiny hunting can take a long time, but don't get discouraged. Keep at it. Take breaks when needed, and remember that each encounter is one step closer to the shiny prize. And if you found this helpful, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you made it to the end, let me know in the comment section down below. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.